Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's quarter to 10, June 19th, 2023, and we are dealing with another day with a lot of haze around and some cirrus clouds a little later on. Just a really junky looking sky overall. Maybe some cumulus around. You can definitely see the smoke that's coming in, and this low pressure system here that is working its way toward our area, or it's going to try to work its way toward our area. We have another weird, screwed up pattern coming up this week. So let's show you the CONUS satellite, and again, you can see this large low, and look at the smoke that's just wrapped around it there. So there's all the smoke, pretty much all in the eastern part of the country. If you are in Colorado, you have a nice blue sky, but we're dealing with wildfire smoke. You can see it all around. Actually, we'll let this go one more. Show it to you here. You can clearly see. Look, there it is. You can see the outline of the smoke pretty much. It's right through here, going into that system. So right in this part of the system, you can see all the smoke right here, that's coming into our area. So, yep, definitely noticed it today in the sky, and what it sort of looked like. Really junky looking sky out there. You can see really junky. It's some cirrus, and then all of that smoke. See that darker stuff there. And we had some surface level smoke too. In fact, let's go to air quality, AQI, and get the air quality here for our area. Let's see what it is. It's saying 26. It's saying good, actually. So I guess mainly it's a loft. I don't know. It seemed like I guess mainly it was a loft. I didn't really smell it that much at the surface. I think it was more a loft. But it definitely, the air just felt a little, depending on where you were. If you're on the South Shore, it felt good. But in the middle of the island, a little warmer, and you can see we got 64 at Islip right now, dew point 61. So a little bit of humidity out there, east-southeast wind. You can see air quality alerts for southeastern Pennsylvania. Of course, in the alley, we're still dealing with 72 degrees in the alley, believe it or not. Anyway, yep. So let's like LaGuardia, 70 degrees. That's what it is here. It's hell. Anyway, let's go. When it gets hot, it's going to be that much hotter, So you can see 62 at Eastport, 63 at West Hampton. All right, so you go to Central Nassau, it's a little warmer. All right, 67. But definitely cooler on the South Shore. And it was a lot warmer in the middle of the island and the North Shore today. Mid-60s as well in Jersey. Let's see what the day was like at Islip today. And we're waiting for that to load. I don't know. The site's being slow today. So you'll see here, temperatures dropped into the 60s, and we got into only mid 70s. Northeast winds becoming southeast in the afternoon. So that's what we had. And we had sunshine with some sky, but it was very hazy throughout the day. It wasn't a very cool day. So let's go take a look at our hot. It wasn't a very clear day. It wasn't like yesterday, even though we had the puffy clouds. Yesterday the sky was nice. So it got near 80 in my neck of the woods. South Shore cooler, 79 at Farmingdale, 75 at Islip. So middle of the island generally got close to 80, which is around normal for this time of the year. South Shore cooler, of course. Going to New Jersey, let's see, 81 at Central Park. A little cool, depending. Tom's River was only 75, but you can go inland, you're in the low 80s. That's interesting. I guess maybe a little bit of a sea breeze there. They had east winds too. So lows, generally in the low 60s across the area. Probably low 60s low 60s more or less in New Jersey. A few isolated spots got in the 50s. So that is fairly close to average for the day. If we go to the almanac, you'll see that that's fairly close to average. So high was 77, right around normal today at Islip. Right at normal. Central Park, also right at normal. So normal, absolutely normal for the day. First, the humidity was a little higher, and we had that haze around. But other than that, pretty normal weather for this time of the year. So let's go take a look at the radar here. And we had a couple of showers actually on the radar. You'll see a couple up here. They're kind of just dissipating. can see them. Can't even really see them, but here they are. Here's the other AccuWeather radar. You can see that. So here's this big system that this is going to be a problem later on this week. All right. So looking at the weather map, you can see here we've got that low, again, another low pressure system, and then we've got this high trying to build down from eastern Canada. All right. So what's going to happen, we'll take this along here. Day 2, you'll see that high tries to build in. Day 3, you can see it trying to pushes the precip chances to the south a little bit, but that low kind of stays stuck there because there's nothing to move it along. So let's go to the let's first, before we go to the models, let's talk about severe weather. Storm Prediction Center. We got slight risks in Texas and Louisiana, it looks like, and then marginal over South Carolina. So not as active as yesterday. It doesn't look like yesterday was crazy, though they're still reporting 7 tornadoes for today. Oh yeah, there's also slight risk up here too as well. Where's this? Up into Montana and North Dakota, believe it or not. We go to day 2. Just tomorrow, you'll see that slight risk again in the south and in the Dakotas. So let's go to the Hurricane Center because we have a new storm to talk about. And it looks like things are getting active. It's kind of unusual to see these Cape Verde storms already. Usually we don't see this until later in the season. But we already have Brett with Tropical Storm Brett, which is max sustained winds of 40 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 1,008. And it's moving west at 21 miles an hour. And it's moving toward the Leeward Islands here. All right. Got a ways before it gets there, obviously. All right. But let's go to the latest satellite imagery on that so we can go in here and we'll look at. So it says right here, Eastern Caribbean Islands, Thursday and Friday. So we'll go to Tropical Storm Brett. And we'll look at the... See, I think we still seeing the visible kind of fade there. We have to use the true color one. Yeah. So there it is, and you can see that's blowing up pretty well. And here's another area of activity. This is the other area they're looking at. So tropics are already getting going. They're saying, it's going to be an average season because we're in an El Nino, but don't be surprised if there's more than that because we know the SSTs. If we go to earthnullschool.net, which is where these storms have popped up, let's look at the STs in this area here. Yeah, way above normal off the coast of Africa. Way above normal. So this could be a lot more active than we have 3 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees above normal in these areas here. So and if we look at the actual sea surface temperature, we've got sea surface temperatures, already approaching 80. So definitely could definitely get some activity going here, and I think it's going to be active for sure. Obviously, it's a ways away, this storm, and we'll keep tracking it. But it's something that and then we have the one behind it, of course, as well. So looking really, really impressive on that satellite imagery here. Let's take a look at it on the visible. Oh yeah, look at that. That's it already. Wow, that is very impressive. So this here is Brett. Already see it getting an eye together. And then we have that next storm that's right behind it. So, yeah. Let's go to storms. We'll go to Brett and we'll look at the models and see what they're doing with this. And let's see if any of these take it up there. We'll look at the intensity guidance, and some of them take it up as high as a Category 3. The spaghetti models show it, again, hitting the leewards and possibly being a problem for Hispaniola and, unfortunately, Puerto Rico, perhaps, and maybe even Cuba. We'll have to see. It's a ways out, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. It's moving at a good clip, so we will just keep watching it. This is the map that we put together. So this is what they have. They do have it becoming a hurricane, and then have it weakening to a tropical storm. But they definitely have it becoming a hurricane. And this would be an impact in the islands actually by Thursday. So it's moving at a pretty decent clip. So let's go to the models here, and we'll go ahead and we'll look at what we have coming up this week. And we'll go to the jet streams first, and we'll First start with the GFS here. And you'll see here the GFS. There's that cutoff load kind of just moves away. And you can see, it's building. Look at this. This is such a kinked up jet stream. Show you this here. I mean, this is just so messed up. And this is just another, this is proof of a dysfunctional jet stream due to climate change. Let me just draw it out for you here, all right, if you can't see it already. Jet stream is not supposed to look like this, all right? It's not supposed to look like that at all, all right? It's supposed to be more of a zonal flow, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing this weird, it's a weaker, wavier jet stream because, again, we have a weaker jet stream because the Arctic is warming faster than the equator. All right, so that is going to keep, is going to have an unusual setup with the cutoff low over the southeast, the high trying to build down, and then that cutoff is eventually going to make its way up and bring us a period of long, quite an extended period of unsettled weather. And then, boom, here comes yet another trough at the end of the month. And you can see here, if we look up in Canada, you'll see it looks like maybe they might get some moisture up there to help with the fire situation. But you can see, generally speaking, that's the jet stream setup we have. It's very dysfunctional looking. Let's look at the European model now. And it'll probably show the same thing. I'm looking at the 12s of European. Pretty much shows the same thing. Again, the jet stream is weak. Sometimes I look at this last run, you don't even see a jet stream here. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So let's go to the upper air. Look, all right, so upper air. See, you have that upside down pattern again. So we have the upside down pattern, the high in Canada, and the trough that's kind of cut off over the southeast. And then that's going to eventually work its way toward the end of this week. And then, boom, here comes another trough. Though we notice that the ridging in Canada seems like not as intense as it was. But you still see a very unusual pattern here. Very unusual for the summer. So if we look at the temperature anomaly chart, which is what I'll do right now. Let's go to the temperature anomaly chart here. So you can see we've been near normal today. We're going to start getting below normal this week. And you can see, again, the upside-down pattern above normal over there in Canada. Well below normal in the southeast because we're going to get that easterly flow. It's going to keep us cool and moist. And then you can see things start to change a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a warm-up, but really it stays unusually cool in the east. This month's going to be below normal for sure. And you can see, again, there's that area of heat that's still in Canada. If we look at total accumulated precipitation, it's showing you at least a little more rain there, and it's also giving us a lot of rain as well. So we're going to have to deal with an unsettled period for sure. So let's go to the surface. And show you what we have. So going into tomorrow, you'll see this high trying to build down. Got this low over here, so maybe some instability showers inland. I think will be more clouds than anything. And then for Wednesday, you can see that high trying to build down, and that moisture is trying to make its way up to our area. Now it looks like it may start affecting us Thursday. So that high is just trending weaker and weaker and weaker, which means we may only have a couple more dry days before we get into a very unsettled pattern. And then you can see we're going to be in that moisture. There's that cutoff low kind of just giving us rain chances. It may not rain all the time, but there'll be rain chances every day. Clouds, it'll be humid. Maybe a little bit warmer as well because you see that the high is giving us a southerly flow. This is into next weekend. And then here we are into next week, and you still see this crap is still taking its sweet time. That would be Brett probably over there, hopefully recurving out to sea. But you can see there's just no big high pressure systems. It's just constant low pressure in the east. It's really, this summer is turning out to be, look, I'm not a fan of the heat, but this constant rain chances and clouds and the smoke are really getting on my nerves. So let's go look at our temperatures. All right. You'll see where the heat is. So you'll see, again, it stays cool in the east. There's a lot of heat in Texas, well into the hundreds there. Dealing with some really severe heat in Texas, as you see. But for us, that we're not going to really be dealing with much heat. It's mainly it will get warmer as we get more into that southerly flow, but it won't really be, as far as hot weather goes, it's staying pretty much over Texas, and look at what it does next week. It starts bringing into Oklahoma and Kansas, hundreds, and it's just relentless. And you have to wonder if that heat will eventually get to us, but I mean, that's just brutal right there. The Midwest is just going to bake day after day after day, and then it starts making its way further up. It's very disorganized looking, it really is. And then it starts moving into the southwest as we get into July. We'll have to see. Eventually, that could get here. But anyway, let's go to the HRRR model and look at the more short range now that I kind of went over the long range and what we're going to be dealing with. And we'll start first with the dew points and wind flow. So here's your dew points and wind flow. You can see easterly winds. Tomorrow, we'll have easterly winds again, and I'll keep it cooler. You see dew points generally in the mid-50s on Long Island, though a little more humid in Jersey for whatever reason, because I guess the fetch is over warmer water. And then as we head into Wednesday, you'll see, again, easterly winds continuing as we head into Wednesday with, fairly low dew points. Not low dew points, but it's not going to be humid. That's my point. You can get your air temperatures tomorrow. Not really getting that warm, probably mid to upper 70s. That's it. And then tomorrow night it'll probably cool off more than the night. Tonight won't cool off that much, but tomorrow night it'll probably cool off more in the mid 50s to upper 50s. And then Wednesday will be even cooler with highs only in the low 70s. That easterly wind there. All right, now that we went over that, we'll go over the precipitation. Which I usually do this first, but as far as tomorrow goes, there's a couple isolated showers inland, but this is what we've got to watch for Wednesday. You can see it's dry, but it's already trying to push this rain up into the area Thursday. We thought we'd be able to at least keep it dry for a couple of days, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Here's this low. Again, that's going to be pushed into the area. Its high is weaker than originally forecast, so we're not really going to see much in the way of clear skies. Hopefully, yesterday was as good as it got, so hopefully you got a chance to enjoy it yesterday, because I don't know when we're going to have sunshine again, especially blue skies. So that's the HRRR. That takes us through, and then I can also look at the NAM 12, which goes a little further, though I'd have to use the 18Z run for that. So this is the NAM 12, and again, keeps us dry for Wednesday, but then it's Thursday that we're going to have to watch for. All right, now the NAM's a little stronger with the high and keeps some more of the rain away. If we look at the GFS, you'll see it's different. It has that rain, those rain chances getting into the area on Thursday. Though you can see it's scattered in nature, so it's just a rain chance. It's not going to necessarily be like a steady soaker type of rain. It's just going to be like a rain chance. All right. If we look at the total accumulated precip, the amount of rain we would get, most of the rain would be south in Jersey, where they could get as much of a half an inch, and to the north, not as much. Very little, in fact. It's not until the weekend that we start pushing those heavier rain chances up toward closer to our area. But still, it keeps Long Island kind of dry. This is mostly going to be a showery type of deal, where it's just going to be an instability-driven type of deal that you're going to have, because what's going to happen is, we'll show you the dew points. They will be climbing. So here we go into Thursday. See the dew point starting to climb. It starts getting humid, especially as we get toward Friday. Dew points well into the 60s, south winds, and south winds on Saturday as well. So you can have this moisture around, and it's going to stay humid for a while after this. So it's going to be not only unsettled, it's going to be humid. We're going to have to wait for a while that we can finally maybe get this humidity out of here, maybe by the end of the month. But again, we don't have a jet stream to move anything along. This is the problem we're having all along. The jet stream is pretty much, think of it as, it just doesn't exist anymore. It's almost just Hadley cells now. I mean, it's crazy. It's very alarming. It really is. Like I said, I've never seen anything quite like this. Let's go to our actual air temperatures here. And we'll go right in here. So here we go into Thursday. You'll see cooler because of the cloud cover. Though it warms up Friday and Saturday, so there could be some sun. partly sunny conditions and those pop-up thunderstorms. And then as you get toward next week, you can see it. But it really doesn't have any really big heat coming to us. You don't really see any really big. Maybe toward the end of the period as we get toward July, maybe. But it's got a stalled front again. It just keeps that low, just that cutoff low, just parked over us. It's just crazy. So let's look at the clouds. Obviously, we're going to have plenty of those this week. So that's it. I don't think we're going to see much sun tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe a little bit. This is the GFS, so remember it's low resolution. But you can see, as far as getting a clear sky goes, yeah, I don't know when that's going to happen. We're going to be waiting a while. Let's go to the RGM. It's a higher resolution model. I'll show you this. So tomorrow, we'll have plenty of high and mid-level clouds around. You can see that. And then for Wednesday, the day we thought we were going to be able to clear out, though the RGM seems to want to push it south just for a little bit in the afternoon. Why wouldn't that be nice? But I don't know if we're going to see that. And then Thursday, we'll have more clouds coming in, pushing in. So maybe Wednesday is probably the best bet for sun, but it depends on the model if you're looking at. If we look at the NAM, let's go to the NAM 18Z. Look at a few of these others here. Not quite. You have to go just a little further north. If we look at the FV3, which is the higher resolution model of the version of the GFS, this is from 12Z. I shouldn't even use this. You can see GFS very aggressive with the cloud cover, so it's very hard to tell what's going to happen. It really is. GFS seems to really want to push this thing in here, and what can I say? It's just it's ridiculous. It really is. If people want, and there are a lot of as much as I hate the heat, sunny, hot weather is part of summertime, and to not have any, especially the sunny part of it, have all these cloudy days, it hurts business at the beach, and it's not good for the economy. But this is what happens when you don't have a jet stream to move things along. These lows just sit here and you cut off, and then they don't go anywhere. This is what we've been dealing with. Like I said, anything past that, as far as looking at thunderstorms or anything like that, we'll have a better idea of how that. I have a feeling thunderstorm activity will be more inland, but we will have to see. So let's go to one more model here. I think we'll do one more. One more? Let's see. Yeah, we can look at the icon. Yeah. So this is the icon. You can see that high. It's a little stronger with the high, maybe. Keeps us dry Wednesday, but then look at what it does. Tries to bring it up on Thursday. Rain, and the icon's even more aggressive with it too, with more rain again. So it doesn't even look showery at this point. It looks like it's just going to be, and as you can see, it's just going to be a lot more rain here on the icon. So icon's a lot wetter. You can see definitely over an inch of rain here that we're going to have. GFS obviously much drier. We can look at the European as well. That's the 18Z European going out to Friday, and you can see European's a lot more aggressive with the rainfall, I think. Well, it's a similar pattern to the GFS. So it is a similar. It keeps it more over Jersey. For whatever reason, it has it more suppressed over Long Island. But bottom line is, it's going to be unsettled. And that's, it's ridiculous. It's just, it's kind of ironic that this happened because we're going to talk about New York 1 for a minute. We're going to go to Spectrum New York 1 for a minute. Weather. Guess who is at Spectrum 1 now? I don't know if she is on here, but Meredith Garofalo, Mrs. Umbrella, from News 12. Well, she now works at Spectrum 1. So it's interesting that she started a new job. Now we start dealing with this damn dreary, rainy weather again. So, we needed the rain, but I think we got enough. We're still abnormally dry, but, it's okay. We need the rain. Get it over with one night. You don't need to drag it on for this long. But, again, we don't have a jet stream to move things along. Things just get stuck. That's the problem all along with the weather. That's why we have the fires. The weather is not moving. It's stuck. There is no jet stream. I mean, the jet stream is weaker. It's weaker than it's ever been. I've never seen it like this before. It's just crazy. It's all just... Sorry for the rant. But anyway... So let's go to, I realized I needed to look at something else. It was the smoke, obviously. So let's go look at that. Let's see if we can get some more smoke models in here. And we do have It looks like we have the service has been restored on this site with the smoke. So let's go take a look at that. This is the vertically integrated smoke. One thing we shouldn't see as much of is the smoke. It looks like we will see a little less of it tomorrow, and maybe even less of it on Wednesday, perhaps. So that's some good news. We are seeing less of the smoke, and when we get that southerly flow, we will not be dealing with the smoke anymore. Instead, we'll be dealing with clouds and rain chances and plenty of humidity, which sucks, you know. But anyway, that's the only smoke model I think I'm going to look at. We'll go to the Climate Prediction Center here, and we'll go over the long range here. Over here, 6 to 14 day. Still has us below normal in the east. The precipitation is going to be above normal. Not surprised because of the unsettled pattern. Way below normal in the deep south, Texas, into the southwest, and above normal on the Pacific coast. Temperatures below normal in the east, way above normal in Texas. 8 to 14 day. We're significantly above normal on the precipitation. So, yeah, expect a really crappy couple of at least a week or so. If you want to walk around, unfortunately, you better get your walks in the next couple of days because it's going to suck. It really is. It's bottom line. It's just this low is just going to sit here, and nothing's going to move. Everything's going to be stuck. You're going to have a cutoff here, little ridge in the heat ridge in the south. Nothing moves, basically. So, unlike before when we had the low that was kind of cut off in a different spot, like in Maine, we're in the northwest flow. Now it's cut off right over here, and so it's going to pump the moisture up, and we're going to be dealing with a lot of rain chances and really, really crappy weather. So, what can I say? It sucks. If you can, you have the money, go to, you'll have your sunny weather in Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. Texas, well, if you really want it hot, you can go to Texas, but those are the places you can go. And if I could, I'd be on a plane to Flagstaff right now. But unfortunately, I don't have the money for that. So, thank you for watching and have a good night.